On this episode of Lapeef, Let's Talk.
Wildly disrespectful. And this is the thing. As people, if we don't stand up and have some boundaries in our community, in our neighborhood, in our cities, this type of shit, it goes unchecked. We're gonna continue to down spiral because everything just becomes, oh well, they got a voice, they can say whatever they want with no consequences, with straight impunity.
Really, they don't even know the context of what their relationship is. They don't know what they was doing in their marriage. They have no clue, bro. Don't know nothing about what they was doing. And this is unreal because they will choose to have a whole conversation about somebody else's marriage that can't even have a conversation. Like, ain't like he can come back and defend himself or none of that. They will have a whole conversation about his marriage and don't know shit about the movement, bro. They don't know nothing about what he really stood for. I bet you they ain't never read a book about they probably don't even know how the I Have a Dream speech, bro.
The damn latitude to be able to move how we move today based on him cheating on his wife. That is ridiculous.
I don't think it's see, this is the problem when we try to sit here and tell people, like, if I look at somebody, like, look, and I'm somebody gonna say I'm going overboard, right? The what's his name? Jeffrey, the Epstein guy, right? I can name a lot of guys that did good shit, right? They did good shit in life. But they also did foul shit, right? And even though some people might look at him and say, you know what? Hey, you did do some foul ass shit or whatever. But I'm just saying, how we going to police how people feel about somebody when they do something? Like, and I don't know the context in which you use it at. Like, if Lady T was right, she wasn't disrespectful. If she said, I feel he's not a great leader because of this, then how are we going to tell her that she's wrong?
Hold on real quick. Logic, I just put the link back there and Kay put the timestamp. Just briefly go ahead and listen to her real quick. It's in the back chat. The link is right there. I also put the link in the chat for people. It's timestamp at, what is it, 1 hour, 11 minutes? Okay.
Yeah.
And a little bit after that.
So let me ask you a question, Logic. Let me ask you a question.
Wait, real quick, just because I want to forget.
Hold on, Anton. I'm gonna let him listen to it.
I just wanted to ask him a question specifically about his service. If you did everything that you did, and you put all of the work and the sacrifice that you put into, I don't know which branch of the military because I'm not really familiar with the military and all of that, but you put your life on the line for me every day. And then I say, you know what? Logic is garbage. And everything that he did don't even mean anything as far as him putting his life on the line for me, because I don't agree with how it is that he live his life as far as who he sleep with every day. Does that make sense to you? Or do you think that that's a valid argument?
No. If she said it like that, right?
I'm asking you a specific question.
Okay. If she said, that's why I'm answering you. If she said, everything he done is in the toilet because he cheated on his wife, right? Or if she said that, you know what? I think this tarnished his legacy. I don't really consider him, because people just look at that. It's something I could have did in the military that, yes, overall, I could have been considered a great soldier. But somebody could have found out something I did. Just say if I shot somebody that I was supposed to shoot, right?
Dishonorary discharge.
That's not the question.
Yes, I'm just putting in the same scenario. The thing is,
she did not dispute what he was doing in the civil rights movement. She disputed what he was doing in his marriage in order to invalidate what he did in the civil rights movement.
Which isn't
what he did in the movement.
I don't think it's far-fetched though, because if you're evaluating a man based on his character, and everyone's looking at him according to him being this great man and having upstanding character, I'm not saying it takes away from what he's done. I do understand where you're coming from, Anton, but there are some inconsistencies there, because you being a principled married man that has been so vocal about how you view men,
correct,
that are upstanding and aren't faithful to their wives. It's kind of like,
no, I don't criticize men that aren't faithful to their wives. What I say is, I only do business with a group of dudes. It does not take away whatever those dudes accomplish in their life. That has nothing to do with how I live my life.
But it makes
You
you
can't
jump.
validate something that somebody else accomplished just because you don't align with how they live their life. That's not the same thing.
That's what people do in this era. They throw stones from glass houses. That's what people do. Legitimately, they look at everything that a person does and tries to poke holes in it based on whatever it is that they feel, their standard is of whatever. That's just how it is. But I don't feel like she was being disrespectful.
She was being very disrespectful.
But it has nothing to do with his accomplishments.
Wait, hold on, Q. And let me say this too, as a society, man, and this is why when people say, and I know I'm gonna take some people out, but when people say black culture is trash, this is I understand it a little bit more. What she said was trash. It was tacky, it was tasteless, it was disrespectful. The better example that she could have used in real modern day time is, what's the perception of Patrice Cullors and Black Lives Matter versus the reality? That's what she could have talked about. We didn't even know, we still don't even know if it's true. We didn't even know that there might be a hint of affair that Martin Luther King had till years later when the feds decided to release the information. We didn't know anything about that. Also, the context matters, right? And I'm not saying this to be funny, but the men in that time moved and lived differently. They contradicted themselves because in the same breath, the lady came back and said, but Corretta stayed. Stayed so much, she built the King Center. Stayed down so tough. She built the King Center for her husband's legacy. Then the girl came back and said, well, if a person isn't good to you, that just makes them not good to you. Doesn't mean they any less good. They was all over the place, man. It was wildly disrespectful. And this is the thing. As people, if we don't stand up and have some boundaries in our community, in our neighborhood, in our cities, this type of shit, it goes unchecked, we're gonna continue to down spiral. Because everything just becomes, oh, well, they got a voice, they can say whatever they want with no consequences, with straight impunity.
Really, they don't even know the context of what their relationship is. They don't know what they was doing in their marriage. They have no clue, bro. Don't know nothing about what they was doing. And this is unreal because they will choose to have a whole conversation about somebody else's marriage that can't even have a conversation. Like, ain't like he can come back and defend himself and none of that. They will have a whole conversation about his marriage and don't know shit about the movement, bro. They don't know nothing about what he really stood for. I bet you they ain't never read a book about they probably don't even know how the I Have a Dream speech, bro.